So, um, gonna be another one of those streams where I try to stand up for as much of it as I can. Because, oh boy, my back has not been great. Too much sitting. So, let's do the healthy thing for artist and stand. Put my drink here and send out the live tweet. Alrighty. May as well get going. Today it is probably going to be more art and less business today. This is going to try to get something done that I've been quite procrastinating on for a while. And apologies for not having a stream last week. I was not feeling that well, and it was just one of those weird weather swings, and so the temperature dropped like crazy, and I'm like, eh. So yeah, it's I had to cancel last week's stream, but I'm in much better condition today. So let's get going. What I'm gonna be working on today is, as you could probably guess, based on the thumbnail, is a print that I've been just putting off for Des Moines Con for a while now. It is basically one of the first few art slash print combinations that I wanted to do for a while. So these would be the 5x7 type of prints that you can get, and they'll be functional. It's basically the front side is the art print. You can put it up on your wall, hang it up however you want, put it in a frame, set it on your table if that's your thing. But the back side is going to be a full-fledged recipe based on the art. And I thought this would be fun to do. You may have seen a little bit of it if you were watching my first foray into the Canto Kitchen series, where I drew a Bulbasaur as a stuffed a meat stuffed bell pepper with chimichurri sauce. That was the idea. I still have to get the recipe together for that, but the time is saying to figure out how to format the recipes and all of that. But today I'm going to be working on the next one because I am working on a stamp rally, and it is Sonic themed. I'm bringing a badge ribbon, a couple of them actually. I'm bringing this print, and I will probably have a couple stickers as well while I'm at it. So this is a print for it. Make sure I don't knock over my drink here. And I did put together a brief initial sketch of the idea that I had. And so you can see we got kind of a checker pattern for framing it. I really like using the rectangle with border breaks, and my reason works. Food theme works, and so I am continuing that tradition here. Got the chili dog, we got the onion rings, and we got a drink, and it's all kind of that classic diner style. And I reckon one of the things I forgot to do with this sketch is I am probably gonna have the wrapper go up with this. Just to better fill in the area. Although it may be a little bit much, just because I also want to have Sonic and Tails over here, just using the classic bright running animations that we got from the games themselves. That way is not necessarily it's just Sonic, but is a food forward piece, and then the Sonic references in there if you like it. So just add a little bit of discovery. But yeah, I'll probably be starting with this bunch first, and then later decide if I want to do the paper wrapping underneath. So let's switch the scene over to my favorite program, Blender, and make sure I got the windows in the right place here. Alrighty. Hope you all been good. Actually kind of warming up a little bit, which is nice. Got a better box for my microphone stand here, but I need to get one of those proper boom arm things. Yeah, I could probably mount it on the wall over here. But we'll see. Alrighty, first order of business. Gotta do some dimensional modeling here. The classic cylinder 32 should be plenty. And then stretch this out. Now, some people might question, why am I just modeling it straight? And I think it's just actually better to try to do it as a straight dog, even though it's not how it actually presents in reality. And that's because if you've been around any sort of rigging for a while, like I have with the 3D models that I've done for fan art and for clients, you eventually start to learn about using bones to manipulate the mesh, and that's my plan here. No, alt scale, I think. Yeah, there. If you just use the alt, the bones to manipulate the mesh, as opposed to manually applying the modifications yourself, you open up quite a bit of opportunity for changing the shapes, applying animations, and just having overall flexibility. So that's why I like to try to use phones for stuff like this. Oh, right. I could just do this. That's much easier. Alright. This should be pretty good right there. And then hopefully y'all can hear the music this time around. Let me actually double check. Okay, that should be going. Last time I did this stream, I realized I completely forgot the music. And so I ended up having to download it and redo the audio track on top of everything before I could export it. Oh. Okay. I think that should be pretty solid. Make sure I am in the right place. Perfect. Armature. And throw an X-ray on there. Ready. OP to parent. And then actually it should be the other way around. Okay, with automatic weights there. And that should just give us a basic sausage with some floppiness. So that's fantastic and all. Evie. Well, cheaters first. I've been using this file for quite a while. It's just convenient having everything put together like this. Okay. Let's see, hot dog. You know, just Skip the principal BTS up here. I don't think we'll need a great deal of detail on the texture here. So 512 is alright. And then let's grab a reference. Well, the one that we have might be alright enough to do anyway. Where I got that selected. Okay. Okay. Oh, right. I'm on my big screen right now, so I actually should just wait. Let's do something else in the meantime. We got some jalapenos, so we can pull from the burger. That's part of the reason why I like keeping these around. It's so convenient. We'll need a couple, but we'll sort that later. Okay. Then we got a couple of chunks of tomato and onions, some cilantro. So these can be done with some primitives. Okay. Just keeping it real simple. And that. What's the word there I'm looking for? Mince. Yeah. And save that image. Yeah. Did I save? I did not. Okay. And we need something similar for onions. It's purple. Okay. Be bad. We get that. Trying to think if I had already done some kind of meat chunk or the chili. I'm gonna say no, probably not. Okay. Some people will approach this with like bump maps, like fancy, what's the word? Mesh manipulation techniques. I am not one of those people. I am extraordinarily ordinary in that regard. No, it's just like life. I want to try to keep things pretty simple if I can. You know, I'll just go up a little bit, pull some little bits here and there. Mhm. Yeah, this should be alright. I am gonna go a little higher on the resolution here, just to make sure I have enough to work with there. And then grab a color for it. It will probably just use the chili itself. And then apply some highlights. I don't think I'm gonna do the sauce, the cheese sauce in the in Blender itself, because it's more of a surface application than it is a actual like modeled object. That's the thing, just gotta figure out what your priorities are and get things done. Okay, we got it playing. And this is cilantro. I am not one of those people who have the sensitivity to cilantro, thankfully. It's nice on certain dishes. I think it enhances the spiciness if applied correctly. Got a half output for this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a basic green fill to start with. Okay, this right here, super important, is that it's saved to memory image. If you're like me, you've done it to yourself quite a few times. Make sure you save the actual file first before you start using save all images. Otherwise, it's gonna go poop once Blender closes for whatever reason. I've had that happen to me far too many times. Not fun. Okay, we got that. We got bacon bits. We do have bacon. And I will actually chop this up as needed, just to complete this. Make sure we're not missing anything else here. Oh, the bun, of course. I will say this is a little weird, but I'm gonna duplicate this and bring this down some. And we need to unparent this. Apologies if I'm not as talkative today as I usually am. I just haven't had too much happen. It's just been pretty boring. Just been doing the job search and all. Not too much luck, alas. But it gives me something to do. No, I think yeah, that's it. That's the one. Okay. And okay. Oh, oops. Maybe it should have been bases instead. Okay. I did go to this pretty nice place the other day. It's called Bonchon, and apparently it was pretty new to our area, but it's really, really good Korean cuisine. Got the fried chicken, the chicken stew, all of that. Yum, 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 yum. Really enjoyed it. Um, I got the chicken stew and I guess it's like potato and cheese corn dog. You know, it didn't have the actual like hot dog bun inside, a hot dog wiener inside, but it was like cheese on the inside. Really, really good. They laced the heck out of it with like some kind of gochujang sauce, I think. Very, very good. Absolutely would go back and have at it again. Yeah, I'm thinking possibly after stream, I might treat myself to this other place that I saw, which is more like a bakery place. It's Toast the Jewers or something like that. Um, but yeah, it's apparently really good. Got ube sandwich, a bunch of pastries and whatnot. Pretty tasty. I had I guess it was like a ham and pesto type of sandwich thing from before when I was at the artist retreat, and it was only just a little bite of someone else's sandwich, but it was really good. Okay, let's flatten this up a little bit. That should be alright for intents and purposes. It's been updated. Then this here, this here. Wait. Oh, yeah, that's bad. Got some major overlap here. Okay. Good that I caught that. Actually, let's get the white here. Okay, now you can kind of see it all coming together now. I'm gonna bring the bottom bits in a little bit. Righty. Okay, switching up the monitors. It's kind of grody, to be perfectly honest. Bit of a warmer orange in there. Give it a little bit of texture. There's nothing when it comes to food is ever perfect. So we just want to get some of those bits of imperfection when we can. Makes it a lot more realistic, or at least believable. Alrighty. A little bit of that inner texture. And I'm gonna pause here for a second while Ow. That was a hard sneeze. Really looking forward to getting back into the swing of convention season. I actually do have a bit of news for you guys. I did get word that I have been accepted to Anki Expo, which is a brand new VTuber related convention, which is going to be open Massachusetts. So it'll be the first time I'm over in the East Coast for a while. And it is a first year convention, so I'm going in with reservations. However, it is a VTuber convention, and I know I got a pretty decent chance of making my expenses back in that particular genre. So I'm just looking forward to it. And then worst comes to worst, maybe I take a couple of days over in the East Coast area and treat it as a vacation of sorts. But yeah, I'm very excited for that. That is going to be all the way in November. Then I also applied for another convention, which is going to be a little bit out of the ordinary for me, but a friend of mine recommended, called a Kaomi Con or something like that. And it is situated in Minnesota, but it'll be over New Year's. which is also going to be kind of a first for me. So, but I don't know if I got into that one yet or not. I think they don't start sending out letters until mid or late June, maybe. Polishing up a little bit more on these pieces so it gives a little more a little bit more character to them, I guess. Probably use the hard round for this. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more overall texture first. A little too much character there. This is good old trial and error. See what works, what doesn't. Maybe. Yeah, I am basically scrambling right now. trying to mimic that open texture that you get with the braid here. There's always a good bit of chaos to any like artistic process, so just fully embracing that right here. Okay, that should be enough to get started here. Gonna fill in the gaps. Let the overall texture build up over time. A lot like traditional art, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really thankful for having gone to that artist retreat, just giving me a proper chance to try out watercolors and that kind of stuff. Get a proper sense of how things should be done from a traditional oh, hello, thank you for the raid. Hope you've been well. Do anything fun? And let me see if I can. Where's the I am not very familiar with the Twitch stuff here. I wanted to give you a shout out. But yeah, those of you who are here, check them out. Always a challenge figuring out how to actually do this. Could be one of those things I just do in post. I'm doing great, thank you for asking. How are you doing? You have a good stream? That's good to hear. What did you do? Ooh, Golden Week. And some NT. Very nice. I've been seeing a lot of that on Twitter and whatnot. NT, that is. And of course, Golden Week. My feed is just full of it. And I even did a Golden Week piece too for Rockabering. I liked how it turned out. There's some improvements that could definitely be done, but you know, it's all part of the process. Gotta put the pen to the paper and make it happen. And how are you liking NTE? The art grind never stops. That it does. Yeah, I'm doing a fair bit of work for Hawkeye and a Des Moines Con, which is actually at the end of this month. So I'm trying to get this print done in time for that. So I've been putting it off for way too long. I'm glad you're liking the game. How would you say it plays? Is it Genshin? Is it Zenless Zone Zero? Wuwa? Like, what would you say the main vibe is? Is it? Ah, that's fun. I played a little bit of Zenless Zone Zero for a while, and I unfortunately had to quit while I was ahead because it had the same issue as Honkai Rail, Star Rail for me. No. Honkai Impact Third for me, and that is it just destroys my wrist trying to do all the combos. I am a horrid but a masher. Yes. They do be crazy. Yeah, I was looking at some of the new S rank agents, and I gotta tell you, I like Billy. The new design they gave him, it just really scratches that kind of common writer itch. I've been watching a lot of sets recently, and watched Build and Gates and Gob before that. So it was quite nice to see like the full transformation, the rider kick, and all of that, even the bike stunts. Well, this side is probably not going to be that visible. I think just need to lighten this up a little bit and we should be alright. Yeah, no worries. Just before you go, let's show you what I got for the concept. This is what I'm working on here. The Sonic chili dog, some fried onion rings, and a drink. So that'll be a lot of fun once I get everything put together. But once again, we want to thank you for the raid, and you have a wonderful night. Sure, hope it ends up being tasty for everybody else as well. Alrighty, see ya. It'll be going on for a little bit longer. I know who you are. Have a good one. This is one of those like little areas where having the brush fall off is actually kind of useful because the hot dogs usually have a seam to them, so you can just leave that in while you're texturing. Kind of get a freebie right there. It's some of the darker lines. Oh, I completely forgot I was still on lighting. Use the hard brown for this instead. Maybe that'll help with the ale scene a little bit. Okay, that is not too bad here. I'll get that over to the other side. Give it a little bit of variation while we're at it. looking pretty good. A little bit of giant wood. That is looking good. And we need some hard bits. Back. Raising some hard like circular marks in there for overall design. That way it feels like a proper hot dog. Okay. That would be pretty good. Move on to the sausage bits or chili chunks. So what I'm gonna do here is focus on the major protrusions, because this is already kind of that saucy mid-tone. Just kind of adding them randomly, right? Get some landmarks in there, but I'm gonna do all sides of it so I can rotate it and compose it for the rest of a body, as opposed to trying to draw the entire thing in one continuous mesh. It is a hard round, so probably should switch to the big grunge just for extra character. Oh, that's much better. Yes. I love this brush so much. It's just a nice like texture that can be built up itself. I'm so sorry. Oops. Um, yeah. Oh boy. Since this will also be in the pod, I just want to thank everybody who's on the YouTube side as well. I've been posting a lot of like short form content over there. I hope to be able to do more proper clips of my content at a later time, but it's been growing, which I appreciate quite a bit. I like to see that I'm making progress somewhere. But like I was telling someone on Twitter the other day, I just gotta make sure that I'm not trying to compare my mile 1 to someone else's mile 100. It's just far too easy to fall in the trap of feeling like super behind, and it's gonna be an insurmountable challenge to, catch up. But honestly, you don't really need to. Just gotta make sure that you're doing what's making you happy, and you're at least being strategic about how you approach it. Because like if you're just keep complaining that nothing's changing and you're doing nothing to change it, then that's gonna be a problem. But just have to keep looking, seeing what data exists. How can you improve what there is in what you make and how you present things and so on. Pretty important to keep yourself in check. Because I had a little bit of a darker sections wall or some character. I'm also thinking that maybe this Friday I might actually get around to playing a game on stream just to shake things up a little bit. But I'm not just gonna be playing any old game. I'm gonna try to apply a little bit of a artistic lens to whatever I end up choosing. That way, is a little bit different than just any old Let's Play, or gosh, those have been around for so long. or like a VTuber playing a game. No, I want to bring something a little bit different to the streaming experience here at the very least. So if you have any recommendations for games to play, I would love to hear them. You know, it's actually kind of reminding me of the potato corn dog, Korean corn dog that I had the other day with the chunks. Not exactly what I was intending, but have to adjust that a little bit. Wonder what the magic formula will be. Maybe some warmer reddish browns as well, just to better sell the sauce. May as well throw some highlights. See if that helps. Most of it is going to be in the sauce because that's the more reflective surface of the overall thing. Okay, I think the overall darkening is around. That might be it actually. Hmm. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. As always, sometimes you gotta experiment and just see if it eventually comes out to what you want. This is kind of why I like this particular way of doing art. It's just gradual layering and you're not worrying too much about getting everything perfect the first time. But sometimes it's that imperfection that makes it so much better. Let's get that tomato. Kind of the same deal. Is just give enough of a texture to different sides. That way is usable in different contexts. And you can just stack them all together instead of doing a distinct one for everything. Green flash bang. Then I actually do like a little bit of black pepper, so I'm gonna add some just for extra character. Got a little bit too happy there. Okay, and some highlights as well. And a little bit more. Was the too much. Sure, that's pretty good. Let's do the onions here. On a good sample. This one. Add a couple of little bands here. Alrighty. And then sparkly bits. That's pretty good. Then I think I will wrap up with a cilantro here. Kind of good reference specimen. You grabbing the one. Give this thing some overall character. Righty. We got pretty much all of the main ingredients for our chili dog here. So I think that is fantastic progress for one day. And I'm gonna call it for tonight. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and let me know if you have any game recommendations for Friday streams. And until next time, bye. OBS, you wanna let me in stream?